In this video for Positive Maths, we're going to learn about imaginary numbers and complex numbers. So when a number is squared, it always becomes a positive number. 2 squared, for example, 2 multiplied by 2 will give us 4, but also minus 2 squared will give us 4. So let's take another example. 3 squared, 3 by 3 is equal to 9, but also minus 3 squared would be minus 3 by minus 3, which will also give us 9. So if we look at this in reverse, we know that the square root of 4 is equal to plus or minus 2. The square root of 9 is going to be equal to plus or minus 3. The square root of 16 will be equal to plus or minus 4. But what about finding the square root of a negative number? In order to do this, a new number, square root of minus 1, is identified. We always call this number I. So this stands for imaginary. So the following box in the blue box is very important to remember this. I is equal to the square root of minus 1, and therefore I squared is equal to minus 1. So we might ask, why do we even have imaginary numbers? So it is to find the square root of a negative number. So let's look at an example. What is the square root of minus 9? So the square root of minus 9, what we need to do here is to remember our rules of surds. So we know that the square root of a by b is equal to the square root of a multiplied by the square root of b. So we can split that up into its factors. So we will change the square root of minus 9 into the square root of 9 by the square root of minus 1. Straight away, we're going to change our minus 1 into I. So that'll be the square root of 9 by I. The square root of 9 we know is 3. So therefore, the square root of minus 9 is equal to 3i. So this is our new number. Let's look at another example. Let's have the square root of minus 4. This is going to be the square root of 4 by the square root of minus 1. So that's going to be 2i. Another example, square root of minus 25. This will be the square root of 25 by the square root of minus 1, which will be 5i. So in general, the square root of minus x will be the square root of x by the square root of minus 1. So that'll be the square root of x by I. So let's learn about complex numbers. A complex number is denoted with the letter Z and has a real and an imaginary part. So a complex number is always written in the form of A plus BI. So A is the real part, so we say the real part of Z is equal to A, and B is the imaginary part. So we write the IM of Z is equal to B. So just to note, this is our real part, this is our imaginary part. So when we're talking about the imaginary part of the number, we don't say that it's BI, we just say that it's B. So let's look at an example. We could have Z is equal to 2 plus 4i. So the real part of Z is equal to 2, and the imaginary part of Z is equal to 4. Just as a side note, I'm writing Z like this, just so we can make sure to identify that it is a Z and not a 2, because they look very similar. For more videos and information, visit www.PositiveMaths.ie, email us at info@PositiveMaths.ie, and find us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching.